In this video, I'm going to share with you on how to build the perfect VSL with a complete blueprint, and everything I'm going to share with you is based off over $300,000 worth of ad spent on VSL funnels. 20,000 of which has been of my own personal money put down on a VSL funnel to make it crank at a very high level. So to begin with, a VSL funnel, it's typically a landing page that goes to a book call page, which then goes over to a confirmation page. But the problem with this is that there is normally drop-offs that occur. And between here, from the landing page to the book call page, people will drop off by up to 40%, which means your cost per book call goes up by 40% as well. So this funnel that I'm going to share with you, all we want to do is completely remove this thing in the middle. So how do we do this? We're going to have a two-step funnel, and it's going to go from landing page straight to the confirmation page. And what you'll notice is that your cost per booked call is going to go down, give or take, minus 40%, right? It might go down by 20, might go down by, on average, we've seen drop off of cost per booked calls by minus 40%. So with this two-page funnel setup, before we actually go into what needs to go in the funnel, the first thing I want to address is what the VSL, the video sales letter, should actually look like, the video on the landing page, okay? And to show you this, I'm going to share my SOP, which goes over building the perfect VSL. Typically, there's a 9-step framework that I've seen to work incredibly well, right? And the first thing you want to do is directly say your offer and who exactly you are, right? Remember, a VSL is just a piece of content on a landing page, right? And you need to open up very, very strong and about exactly what you do. So for example, in my VSL, I may say something like, hey, my name is Harleen and I help agency owners and coaches with blah, blah, blah. And looking to get into desired outcome, I'm your guy and this is why. Or an alternative could be just opening up directly with your offer. So if your offer is something like sign on your first 20 clients in 6 months, you can open up your VSL with something like, so this is exactly how you're going to sign on your next 20 clients in 6 months. And then you can go into who you are, right? And step 2 is establish your credibility. Alex Hormozi talks about this a lot, where in your videos, you want to open up with some proof as well. So as soon as you give context to the VSL, then you can open up with the proof and credibility of who you are and why you're qualified to make this type of offer. And the key thing here is you need to keep it short, factual, and specific. Share relevant wins and experience. Use clear numbers that show authority, right? Make sure you're very, very specific. For example, our clients have added an extra 200K in revenue in the last 60 days or so. And you also want to skip any type of fluffy life stories about yourselves, because typically these people don't necessarily care. They just want to see if the thing that you have is actually going to help them or not, right? Step 3 is to sell the opportunity before you make your offer. To make a very compelling VSL and have very compelling messaging, you need to sell why the opportunity matters right now. So if you're selling a VSL funnel when most people are running instant form ads, you want to talk about why instant form ads are super outdated, historically what has happened, how the market might have shifted, and why we're going into this new VSL phase. Okay, that's an example of how you can sell a VSL funnel if the market is doing instant forms, all right? And of course, make sure you're comparing and use facts, figures, trends, statistics, relevant articles, relevant studies, journals, anything you can find online. Make sure you use that to make more compelling arguments and more compelling sales arguments that is backed by some form of data so that people can actually believe what it is that you're saying. Step number 4 is you need to then present your offer. This is where you introduce your offer with a system or a process that helps them win. And you want to be very transparent with your pricing, which goes against typical advice you see online. Specifically for B2B, you want to literally drop your price, okay? Or at the very least have a price range so you can get rid of all the financially unqualified people. And of course, you want to go over the deliverables and everything that they get so they know what they're getting themselves into. So your sales calls don't become educational calls. Now, if you're in a more B2C market, it's okay to not price drop completely, but I would still recommend having some form of price range so that the people who are financially unqualified, they don't get on the calls with you and muddy up and mess up your pixel data so that you don't begin optimizing for not so qualified leads, right? Once you've presented your offer and you've given a price range, at this point, you want to pre-handle any objections, handle objections proactively, anticipate and answer doubts before they come up on your sales calls, right? Address any common concerns, questions such as price, times, and results. And if you want to have a little ninja trick here, if you take all of your sales call transcripts and you begin to notice patterns, so pattern recognition is huge. If you notice, wow, on all the sales calls that I've closed, at the halfway point, a lot of prospects typically tend to ask, okay, so what's included in my offer? What you want to do in your VSL is at the halfway point, right? If this is a pattern you've recognized to come up on your sales calls, at the halfway point, you want to directly address this question or concern head on so that people will think, wow, this person has read my mind. This is exactly what I need right now. Step number 6 is you want to redefine who it's for and who it's not for. Be abundantly clear and don't be afraid to disqualify people. Don't be in this scarcity mindset of, oh no, what if I disqualify someone that could have bought? You do not want to do that because in the long run, you're going to end up signing on the wrong people. You'll have more chargebacks, more refunds, disputes, things like that. And on top of that, your client results will go down, okay? There is an abundance of people. There's 8 billion people on this planet. It's okay. You just need to go after one specific industry that you know for certain that you can help and radically disqualify people who won't really get the result from you. This also helps your ideal prospects feel like this really is for them. Because I've had people say to me, wow, I could tell that you knew exactly the type of person you wanted to go after because you said this is specifically for X type of person, right? The 7th step is obviously the call to action. Call to action we're going to talk about later on in this video, but you want it to be very direct, very straight to the point, and tell the person exactly where they need to go. Don't do anything silly like having a misaligned call to action. A misaligned call to action is just something like asking people to DM you on Instagram rather than fill out the form below. So if you have a type form below, and that's another little ninja trick, you want to make sure that your call to action is aligned with what you say in the video. Step 8, show real proof and real social proof and things like that. Make sure you show screenshots, video clips, Slack messages, just anything that's real. Keyword real here, okay? And include names and photos of people if possible to make it even more authentic and believable. If you can, make the testimonials that you have relevant to the people that you're trying to serve, that would be super, super helpful. And then you can just close off with confidence. Step 9, which is to reinforce the value and give them a final reason to ask. Highlight any guarantees or refund policies if you have any, reiterate the key benefits, and end on a calm, assured call to action and tell them exactly where to go in the next step. So that's a rundown on the actual VSL itself. Now, with the actual landing page, you have to remember before they click play on the video, they're going to see the top of your page first. And this is exactly how you want to go about making the perfect VSL funnel. So with your landing page, it's going to look something like this. You're going to have a headline. You're going to have your VSL, just your video. And then underneath, you're going to have an application. Okay, so this is going to be Typeform. And then underneath that, you just want to have it filled to the brim with results, testimonials, client studies, anything that you have that will make it way more compelling that you really are who you say you are, okay? This is the typical setup that you want for your landing page, and just keep it as simple as possible. You don't want crazy amounts of information and stuff on the actual landing page if you have a whole bunch of results. Now, if you don't have results, an alternative that you could have is having the headline, have your VSL, have your Typeform application. Underneath, if you don't have results, you want case studies. And the best case studies to have is just somebody else who is very successful, who is using the same service that you're offering. And it doesn't have to be that you offered the service to them or you're the one delivering on the service. You just want case studies of other successful people and breaking down exactly what worked for them with the service that you're offering. So if you're offering content creation, you can talk about how much content Alex Hormozi and Layla Hormozi produce, and how it's bringing them new business and making it easier to make way more money. Okay, and you need to break down a single nuanced step to showcase to people that, okay, he does have or she have the expertise when it comes to talking about making content. Maybe I should buy from this person, okay? Case studies can be just as compelling as results, but obviously if you have results, that works so much better, okay? Always, always, always go for this one first. And if you can't have this one, this is a close second. Now, coming back from the actual landing page, before people see your VSL, they are going to see the headline first, and that's the thing that needs to do most of the heavy lifting. The key to a great headline is understanding your prospect's level of awareness. For example, if you're targeting people who are looking to do content, who have a real problem with generating leads, but they don't really know how to go about the solution or even using content at all, a powerful headline would be how businesses are landing 3 high-ticket clients per week without doing cold outreach. Okay, because it speaks directly to the pain point of that business that is doing cold outreach and not utilizing content the way that they should be. The key thing here is your headline needs to be very, very direct, and you say what you want to say in as few words as possible. A direct to offer headline can work great as well. So if you're going after people who have that awareness and they know what the solution is, maybe they are looking for content, your headline can literally be, let us build 30 plus professional short form reels for your social media within 7 days to get you 1 million views, okay, with a full money back guarantee. That would be a great headline, right? And obviously you can cut the words down, but you kind of get my gist, okay? That headline is for people who are actively looking for a solution. So these are solution aware people, and if your brand is big enough, they could be product aware people as well. Now, just to be clear, now that you have your headline and you have your VSL, underneath you'll have the call to action, and this is going to be your Typeform application. With your Typeform application, most people typically just use Calendly, but if you embed a Typeform, you just want to ask qualifying questions into the Typeform, okay? So for example, if I'm targeting agency owners, my first question is going to be, do you run a marketing agency? Okay, yes or no. The next question will be, what is your current monthly revenue? So I'm financially qualifying them, okay? And the third question is, are you willing to invest in meta ads? Because I am selling meta ads, you want to make sure that I'm qualifying people so that they're able to obviously have the money to work with me, but have the money to invest into meta ads, right? And if they answer all the right questions, they'll get shown this place here where they can fill in their information, and Calendly will autofill the information like their name and email so that they can go ahead and book a call directly from my Typeform, okay? They don't need to click onto a middle step of the funnel, because that's going to end up increasing your cost per call, because people tend to drop off by up to 40% in some cases, which means your cost per booked call can increase by up to 40%. And I've seen people drop their cost per call by that 40% number, right? So just embed your Calendly into the Typeform and have some specific workflows like you can see here, where people, if they answer correctly, so for example, if they answer, no, I don't run a marketing agency, they get sent to a very quick 15-minute call where I can see and vet them out to see if they qualify for another type of my offers. Again, 15 minutes. And if they answer all the questions correctly with how I want them to answer, only then can they go ahead and book in a call with me, which will be a full 45-minute sales call, okay? And then after they book in a call, they'll get redirected to the confirmation page, which I'll break down for you right now. Now, with the confirmation pages, this is really a secret weapon, okay? This is a step that separates a basic marketer to someone who is an absolute professional and actually cares about their sales team. After people book in a call with you, your prospect is going to start researching you, and you need to be able to control the narrative, okay? And let me give you a real example of how someone controlled the narrative with me to make me more open to their business. A long time ago, I was susceptible to an MLM pyramid scheme-esque thing going on. And these guys, because they knew they had a lot of bad press, what they did was actually share to me that, okay, when you research online and when you type these things in, you're going to see a lot of negative things pop up. Don't worry, these people are misinformed about us, and if you have any questions, come directly to us. This is a very powerful thing where they're controlling the narrative because they took advantage of first impression bias. If they came to me and they told me this new piece of information first, I have a bias to believe them first, and it takes a lot more evidence to go against what they originally said to me. And the result was I stuck around with this MLM for a pretty long time, way longer than I should have stuck around with them. And that was because they had this first impression bias control, and they kind of impacted my mind to listen to them for a lot longer. Now, obviously, you are more ethical. Statistically, you should be getting better results than any MLM should. So it makes sense for you to use and take advantage of this first impression bias, especially if you are selling something that is in the benefit of the prospect, right? So how you create this confirmation page bias, this first impression bias on the confirmation page, is by structuring your confirmation page like this. So you want to make sure that you have one big video here, and this is going to be the main video. Okay, this is going to do things like tell them to check their emails to confirm call, and it's going to get them excited for the call as well. Okay, and what you want to do as well is tell them to watch the videos below, and below you're going to have multiple videos that go over typical objections and questions that people have for you. Okay, so you could have a video that goes over how much it costs. You can have a video that goes over the refund policy. You could have a video to go over time to results, like how long it takes to get a result. And you can have a video of client success rate. These are questions that people will typically have when it comes to working with you. And if you want to know exactly what to put in your video, by the way, all you need to do is go back to your sales call transcripts and identify all the common questions, queries, anything, any type of concern that people have, and you want to directly address them on the confirmation page of your VSL funnel. Now, the key thing here on the thumbnails of these videos, the thumbnails of the videos should be very clear and tell them what the video is about. So for the price video, you literally just want a thumbnail to say price. Okay, maybe your face is in there, but in big, bold, clear font, you want it to say price. So as people are scrolling, they know exactly what it is that they're going to get from that video. And remember, these videos, you want them to be between 1 to 3 minutes long. You don't want them to be long at all. Okay, now continuing on this confirmation page, you have a couple of choices here, right? The best thing you can do is just have a whole bunch of results and testimonials. Testimonials galore. Fill it up as much as you can. You can also have a button here that takes them to a YouTube video. Now, this YouTube video is designed to be a long nurture video. And in this video, you want to break down every single thing that is stopping your prospect from being able to do this by themselves. It's increasing the doubt that they have in their mind as to why they can't really do it by themselves, right? This is a very powerful tool. And I've had people jump on calls with me saying, hey, I watched that YouTube video and I realized how screwed I really was. And I'm really excited to get on this call to see how you guys can help me out. You can see that that prospect is way more likely to sign up with you because they have that discrepancy between where they are and how much doubt they've built up in their mind, okay? This here would be your perfect confirmation page. Your main video, some little videos underneath to tell them exactly where to get to, a button that takes them to a YouTube video, okay? You want video here, okay? So video 1, video 2, video 3, video 4, video 5, and then this here is gonna be a button, okay? And down here, you can have videos plus screenshots of results, just as many results as you can. And this would be your perfect confirmation page. Now, when it comes to testing and making the perfect, VSL and testing it over time, you don't want to overcomplicate it, because unless you're spending over bare minimum of $1,000 per day on your funnel, you really don't want to test that many things. You just want to test the one thing, which is your landing page headline and the VSL itself, okay? And you just want to go about testing it with one little tweak at a time. A better headline is the cheapest and the fastest way to improve your entire funnel's performance. In fact, just by changing my headline and everything else remained the same, my VSL conversion rate went from 4% to over 30%. It was a literal 8x in performance. So the entire blueprint to a VSL is just having a 2-step funnel rather than a 3-step funnel, recording a VSL using that 9-step framework. And by the way, if you want my full VSL SOP, I'm going to leave it in the description down below for you to steal and execute on by yourself. And then obviously having a confirmation page, which has these mini little videos that helps prospects gather the information in order to make a buying decision when they actually get on call with you. And by the way, that is going to increase your close rate and increase the amount of dollars you collect per call on average across all the sales calls that you'll take after implementing these changes on a VSL funnel. Now listen, if you're an agency owner or a coach and you want to completely implement this system with my help, down below, you should go down to the description and check out the offers that I have. If you're under 10K per month, I do group calls once per week with some very basic modules. That's very, very cheap. If you're over 10K per month and you want to scale to 50 to 100K months, I have a consulting offer that you can check out, and you can go to my landing page to apply for it. And if you're doing well over 100K per month, I have a done for you agency service where I will be personally building everything out for you to help you tack on another 100K plus per month after 90 days.